I always hate meetings like that. Every once in a while we get a call from the bank and they tell us we only got a little bit of time left until they take all our money and everything we own. Then we have to start back over from the very beginning. So while I still have some money in the bank, I need to figure out how I'm going to take my starter ship and start to make some money. I can't do the delivery missions. They don't work for me and they don't pay enough. My ship isn't strong enough for bounty hunting and I'm not too good at combat either. I think I have an idea, but it's going to be kind of risky. My goal is to be able to rent a rock and a Cutlass Black. From there, I can get as much money as I need and I can upgrade ships freely. I know where an outlaw gang hangs out around the area. I've figured out a way to steal one of their ships. Well, that was a fun intro.
Welcome. Your journey begins now.
First thing we're going to do is go ahead and accept the Call to Arms contract. That'll get us at least 500 credits for any mercenary or hostile we take out, as well as in the mercenary tab getting the Halt Illegal Surveillance mission. From there we can go ahead and hit track, so that is the mission that is going to be tracked on our map and on our heads-up display. Let's go ahead and take off, leave atmosphere, and quantum travel to the comm array where we need to go. Now what we're going to end up doing is we're actually going to end up stealing one of the ships that's out here for the hostile groups that are trying to protect these monitors. As we're flying through here, once we get closer, we can go ahead and scan which ones are out here. Usually there are Cutlass Blacks, a Freelancer Miss, and a Mantis. Now the Mantis is going to cause us issues trying to quantum travel out of the area, but that's not what we're interested in. We are the most interested in either the Cutlass or the Freelancer. The way I'm choosing to do this is we need to run in here. Once they start shooting at us, go ahead and eject as soon as possible because the starter ship is not going to last very long. Once your ship is destroyed, all of the hostile ships around here are going to basically come to a stop slowly, and that's when we can go to board one of them. Now, personally, I prefer the Cutlass Black. It is the easiest to get into as they actually leave the back door unlocked. So right now we're flying straight to it and we can just open up the back. We do not have any weapons, which is okay because once we get into this, we're just going to go ahead and run right up to where the pilot is and we're going to just melee him. We're going to punch him until he comes out of his seat, basically. As we get in here, you'll see we're just going to run up to the pilot's seat here. And for me, the only place I could get to is really close here. And I can only punch his elbow with my left punch. So just do that repeatedly. Eventually, he will go ahead and come out of his seat. Now once he comes out of his seat, he's going to be incapacitated. What you need to do is go ahead and middle mouse button on your scroll wheel, go ahead and click that and you'll stomp him and then he will be dead. Since we're just in our starting gear here, we have nothing else on us, we're going to go ahead and loot all of his gear for us here and take everything that we can. And I'm going to go ahead and switch helmets just because I think his is a lot cooler than the one I had. The moment we get in the pilot's seat, we are going to now show up as an enemy for the other hostiles, and they're going to start shooting us. Now, personally, I prefer to use the Freelancer for these missions, which is what I'm going to end up doing. So I go ahead and set the self-destruct sequence on the Cutlass here, and I'm just going to go ahead and get out. Cool thing about that is once the ship blows up, there's a turret gunner in here still. We will go ahead and kill him, which means we're going to get an extra 500 credits. So go ahead and jump out of the Cutlass here. You can see the turret gunners going at it with one of the other ships. And pretty soon it will go ahead and blow up, but we want to be as far away from it as we can. There we go. It has blown up, so in just a moment you'll see the 500 credits pop up on our screen. I'm going to go ahead and start searching for the Freelancer. Now, if you wanted to keep the Cutlass, you're more than welcome to. I personally chose not to because I'm going to be getting in and out of the pilot seat a lot, and right now there's a small bug where it kind of kills you, which is not good for our goals. The reason why I went with the Cutlass first is because we cannot open any of the doors on the Freelancer. We are going to have to shoot them open. Now it's very important to go ahead and shoot the airlock open and not the rear ramp door, because if you shoot the rear ramp door open, it will break and we're not going to be able to use it to load and unload the rock later. So as you can see, they had a little bit of difficulty getting in and out of this airlock here. I found the best way is just to go in upside down head first and just fall to the ground. Glamorous, but it works. There happened to be a glitch where I got a full magazine worth of ammo again after just using it to open the airlock. So I went ahead and shot the pilot here to get him out of the seat. You could just melee him again just like we did earlier. However, I had a gun, so I used it. Now once the pilot was dead, I chose to go ahead and drag him, and I grabbed him with my powers of telekinesis and took him out of the main walkway just because it's very narrow in here, and if I had to run out of this quickly, I didn't want to have him in my way, so I just ditched him to the side, got into the pilot seat, and again, as soon as that happens, the other aircraft are going to start firing at us. Now we can continue the Halt Illegal Monitors missions just as normal. So I went ahead and had to deal with one of the Cutlasses here, but that's what I like about the Freelancer. It has a little bit better guns, a little bit stronger of an aircraft, and as you can see, the turret gunner is shooting at my target, which is the coolest part about doing this. Not only do we get a free ship that is an upgraded ship that has a cargo bay, but we also have a turret gunner out here that can do work for us.
Shooting at me make you feel big?
Once we take out this Cutlass here, we go ahead and continue on to the main mission.
Target destroyed.
Focus on the monitors, and you want to make sure you know where all three of the monitors are before engaging the first one, just to make things go smoothly if you're not used to doing this mission. Because as you can see, there will be a timer that pops up right when I start to attack the first one. We only have 5 minutes to destroy all three of these monitors. As you can see, I'm not the best at this type of gameplay, but I'm going to go ahead and show it for you guys anyway. And as soon as I destroy this first monitor, I am going to just fast forward through everything, but that way you can at least see how this whole thing works. Moving on to the second monitor here. We'll go ahead and take that one out. And the third monitor as well. We got some missiles coming in from the other pirates. But we'll go ahead and take this out here as fast as we can. And the other good thing about having the Freelancer as well is all 4 of its pilot control guns are repeaters, whereas on the Cutlass Black you only have 2 repeaters and 2 ballistic.
Destroyed.
With the ship being a stolen ship, we're not able to sell cargo from it. We're also not able to reload or repair any of its consumables. So there we go. The first mission is done. We got the 20,000 credits for it. And as you can see, the Mantis is going to be causing us an issue here. I tried to go ahead and quantum jump away. Unfortunately, the Mantis has a snare on it. So I'm going to fast forward here while I target the Mantis and try to take it out. I am really not great at ship-to-ship combat. You can see all of my mistakes here. Made a close pass, missed us. We did not get him, but here we go, and we are going to get him right here. Now, as soon as I can, I'm just going to go ahead and quantum jump out of the area. We got 500 credits for killing the Mantis, and as you can see, our ship is actually pretty damaged. But we're still flying, and that's what matters. Now, we still do have to run out to where a refinery is. After getting the 20,000 credits that we got for completing the mission, we have more than enough to be able to rent the rock. Now, what we want to do when we get to one of these refinery stations here, we want to look for a landing pad. What was just in front of me was a hangar. Since this is a stolen ship, we're not able to contact ATC and request landing. So we have to go someplace else that's close by. Going on these landing pads, what I choose to do is land just off to the side of it so my ship does not get impounded. It also doesn't despawn. And then I'm just going to go ahead and go right on the side of these pads here and turn off the engines. The reason why the pads are good is because they have a entryway that is always open, and we do not have to call ATC for that. So go ahead and park, turn the engines off, get outside, and EVA onto one of the pads. You want to make sure you don't go too high above the pads, because once you get into its gravity, you'll fall and you don't want to hurt yourself. Get to where it's just a small fall away, and we're going to go ahead and sprint all the way around to the elevators, go to the refinery, and we'll go to the rental kiosk and rent the rock. Now we can go ahead and go to the Vantage Rentals kiosk here in the refinery, and as soon as it loads we can select the rock, which was 4,300. Again, we got 20,000, so we are more than enough to be able to rent this. But now you just need to run to your ship. Because I had a filming issue, you're going to see everything from the ship to the rental kiosk in reverse again. Once you get back in your ship, we are going to head on to a location where we can spawn our rock and start the mining process to get some money. So remember to turn your engines back on. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Because I'm around the Hurston area, I'm going to go ahead and go to the moon of Aberdeen and go to HDMS Anderson. You can go to any of the HDMS sites except for the one that said NA. There's nothing there. Here, we're going to HDMS Anderson. What's nice about this is we have landing pads. We also have an Armistice Zone to get in, which means nobody can try to shoot us or anything while we're on the ground. So it makes it a little bit safer here. I'm going to go ahead and avoid those other ships that are dancing around on the ground for no reason. And I'm going to bring my ramp door facing the place where we can spawn ground vehicles. And have a just nice, super buttery smooth landing. Look at that. We're able to close the ramp door and open it from the outside. However, none of the other doors work that way. And I am not able to use the ladder at all, so I'm just going to leave the doors open. Hope nobody takes it, but it doesn't look like anybody's here right now. I'm still going to go as quick as I can. So once we get in here, I'm going to go straight to the kiosk and go ahead and spawn the Grey Cat Rock as soon as it loads. I guess I have to claim it first since I've never done it before. I went ahead and paid the expedited fee because we had more than enough money, and going to wait for it to spawn. Now we can run outside and go ahead and jump into our rock. Now we probably could have used that one that was sitting there, but I don't know how it would have gone to sell it because you can take out the cargo. Oh man, look at that awesome entry animation. I teleported in here before the doors open. Look at that. So cool. It's a feature, guys. Now, the reason why I prefer the Cutlass over the Freelancer is the cargo bay is much larger, and it is very tight to get the rock into the cargo bay of the Freelancer. It's caused me a couple issues today, but just go slow and just try to be gentle with it. You'll eventually get it in there, but it is a tight fit. Now we can go ahead and get out of here and go. Oh, look at that. I'm leaving after the steps and door closed. Look at that. It's a feature, guys. Such cool animation. We're going to go ahead and take off. We're going to start the rock mining process here. As we're flying, I choose to just head straight in one direction here. So I chose just to put my compass facing straight east, as it's a direction that's easy for me to remember. And I'm going to go ahead and fly somewhat close to the ground, not too dangerously close, until I pick up a ping that looks like it will be our hand minables, which is all we can get, which just means as I'm pinging it, one of these boxes popped up within inside of 3,000 meters and turned to diamonds. So you can see them there on the ground there. We're going to go ahead and lower our landing gear, land close by, and go ahead and take our rock out. Look at that. Not the best landing, but hey, you know what? I'll take it. We will go ahead and lower our ramp. Usually the ramp on this, I do believe, is faster. I think, again, we took quite a bit of damage. It's still completely operational, which is nice. It's just a little slow. So we're going to go ahead and enter the rock here with another absolutely crispy animation. Perfectly executed. Well done. Look at that. Go ahead and turn it on with R just like you would a ship to make sure all your systems and everything are on. And we're going to come out of here with a reverse wheelie. I want to see you guys do that. I worked really hard on performing that trick. And now we're just going to rock mine like usual. Nothing different than normal. And I'm going to go ahead and speed this up, as if you already know how to rock mine, great. If not, I have another tutorial on the channel that tells you all of the ways on how to do it for beginners. So we're going to go ahead and take all these here. This is where buying pinbroke armor would help, as you have more than enough money to do so. You would be able to get the pinbroke armor, and all that's going to do is, in this hot environment, allow you to stay out longer. I only had about 12 minutes, I believe, and as you can see here, inside of 3 minutes for our survival estimate, my vision starts to get really hazy. So I just left that other rock on the ground, and I needed to get all of this back into the ship before I died. Again, just go nice and slow with the rock to get it in this cargo bay. It is very tight, and it's not the easiest thing to do, but it is possible. Here you can see again, my body is getting extremely overheated from the hot temperatures outside and not having the correct armor on for the environment. So I go ahead and run up to the habitation area in the cockpit as quick as I can. You can actually hear my character start to have hard times breathing here. And then I just go ahead and stand here for about a minute or so, and my vision starts to get better. And I go ahead and take off, and we are going to head back to HDMS Anderson. Now, if I was doing this outside of this video, I would have stayed out for a lot longer and filled the rock up at least halfway, and then I would have returned. However, for the sake of the video, so I just went ahead and came back to HDMS Anderson to show you guys how you can sell all of the minables, all the ore that we just got from the rock. Again, a nice buttery smooth landing.
Landing successful.
From there, we're just going to go ahead and get out of our ship, run back to the rock. Now, because I was not able to get the side exit to work on this ship, I believe that's due to it being stolen, I did have to go ahead and go back to the cargo bay and take the rock out of this ship with another amazing animation. Look at that. Crispy.
Systems activating. Systems on.
Then we're going to go ahead and back out of here nice and smoothly with another reverse wheelie. And go ahead and go to this building with the little orange flag looking thing. That is going to have the kiosk where we can sell everything. We're going to go ahead and run in here and try to sell as soon as possible so somebody does not come and take our rock from us. One thing I should have done was to close the entry steps on the rock so nobody could steal it. I just ran in here anyway. I didn't think anybody was here. So we went ahead and clicked on the kiosk. It does take a moment for everything to load in here, so you might just have to be patient. Sometimes click a couple different buttons, but eventually I was able to select the Gray Cat rock. And once it loads in, once I click buy, you can see we have 111 units of Hadanite, which if we sell all of that gives us 30,520 credits. In not very much time, maybe 10-15 minutes, we're able to get over 30,000. So there you guys go. That's a quick, easy way to be able to make a decent amount of money just in this video that you've seen. We've done just over 50,000 without having to spend any money at all. So that's a good way to get started. For instance, my goal for the day was to be able to get 40,000, which would have covered the rental for a Cutlass Black and a rock altogether. However, we only ended up needing 4,300 credits because we're using the stolen ship. We didn't need to risk our life in any sort of combat, really, outside of the initial part where we just jumped out of our ship. Now, coming back here, again, we're not able to request any landing, but I did take the armor and weapons from the pilot that was in the ship. So I wanted to come back here to a space station, went ahead and opened my inventory and just transferred everything over. So if I do die and I spawn back here at this space station, I'm able to have a full set of armor and a weapon again to go back out and do anything that I needed to do. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you are interested in joining Star Citizen, please remember to use my referral code to get an extra 5,000 starting credits. And if you're new to rock mining and wanting to try it out and don't know anything about it, please click this video here for a full tutorial on how to do so.